Yo, what's up? Yo, last episode I was rewatching and holy fuck, yo. Thank you to the G in the chat that told me that the music was too loud. That would have been an insane issue to deal with. Okay, hopefully this is fine. I think I need to talk at like a very consistent level for it to not be an issue. Oh, yo, shout out to everyone for subscribing. First things first, housekeeping, duh. A little shout out from our sponsor, which is actually just the merch associated with this. houseofjoehall.com, use code E2 for a 20% discount off of your purchases on the 2 shirts that we have. We have the Olympic Games shirt, and we have the wrestling t-shirt. Check it out, houseofjoehall.com, and I think you guys would like it. And so make sure you get it. The front, the back looks dope. Shout out to the homie Saib. That dude has bought like 20 shirts, man. And the thing is when people get them, they end up wanting to get more. That seems to be the common occurrence, because when we had the hoodies, the same thing ended up happening. And the hoodies will eventually get restocked. If we sell all these, we'll do a hoodie drop. And I mean, we'll just keep getting the best merch possible. All right, back to the show. So, if you go to my website, there's some cool things on here. All right, there's some of these tabs that you can check out, and one of them is music. So on here, there's 4 mixes that I've done. This one is the hip hop one. This one is like a lo-fi one. These 2 at the top are more like house, drum and bass, shit like that. And so to give you guys a taste, check this one out. And it's free on the site. Go check it out. Like, I don't really make mixes for people to do like nudging and stuff too. I feel like most, I need to stop saying like so much. My opinion, trying to not be so Surrey still, yo. It's actually crazy how much people think of the stereotype of Surrey that we'd be like, yo, what the fuck? And to an extent it is true, but Surrey has something that no other diaspora has, which is we are the closest to having a subculture where you see dudes like the Adidas tracksuits. That's a complete Surrey thing. They don't do that out in Toronto. The type of cars that we fuck with, not like Chryslers and like not Challengers and all that kind of shit, but when you actually look at like Fox bodies and like it's hard, man. Like is such a good word to use. If you look at the types of cars that Bindi Johal was driving, stuff in that field, stuff like that, no. A lot of it is Surrey inspired. Obviously the slang, like, oh my god. Obviously the slang, the best way I can describe why it ended up like that, okay, sometimes you need to say it, is because the way Punjabi is a very what's the word I'm looking for? Rhythmic type of music. So that when you talk, you have this kind of rhythm in how you flow and talk about things. Like tu ki karda? Like that kind of rhythm when it's applied to English. Why are you talking to me like this? So if that's how like a dipper would talk here, then when somebody who's born here speaking English but also has the Punjabi thing going for them, what ends up happening is you get this, yo buddy, oh tu ki karda? Yo buddy. There's like a similarity going on there, which is why the Surrey slang has developed in this way. The thing is, like, linguistically, all this stuff eventually always ends up becoming something that people want to study. I remember years ago an article had come out. Hold up. Yeah, all those tabs are because I was trying to find this track for one of my buddies. And I just spent 2 hours trying to figure out where the movie was from. Like, it was so crazy. But like him, I am also Jay from music, so I had to find it. But there was this article that came from the bizarre case of South Asians doing gang violence. Something along the lines of that. The role of South Asian family culture and South Asian gang involvement. Like, basically what they were saying is, like, it doesn't make sense that dippers are out here doing gang violence because the situation at home doesn't merit the situation. But I do think that when you have like such a fucking ladaka type of character, that you do end up with this type of culture of people kind of being about the streets and stuff. Some people obviously get into it because of like a sad life and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But I think some people actually get into it because like they are down to clown. There's like that Daku mentality. Because if you were in Punjab, like back in the day, and you didn't want to just be like a farmer and stuff, and you actually had this warrior boys, if you guys get the reference, and for those of you that do not, this was a documentary that came out where these people were like, what is going on with these South Asians? And it's like different stories from different viewpoints of the situation out in Surrey. There's this kid, he's getting into fights and all this shit, and then there's a reformed guy talking about how all this stuff is fucked up. I had to write a article about this back in the day in Punjabi. My article is called Yo De Munde.
Guaranteed. Like, I was gonna get shot. Dope.
That's not me like making it glitch. That's this itself. I wonder if there's like a better version of it, where Warrior Boys documentary. This, at one point in like the 2000s and the 2010s, this was a very popular sort of situation to watch. Oh, cool. Okay, so first let me just pause the music, then we can get into Warrior Boys. J Money, kidda? Yo, glad for joining the stream again. So for any of you who have not seen this, this is like a big, this was a big deal in high school culture, and people talked about it, people mentioned it. I think they made something else after, but again, the weird thing was that like, why the fuck are these South Asians getting into gang violence when like situations at home aren't bad? I watched the documentary like 3 times. See, but you know,
guaranteed. Like, I was gonna get contract out of
and the South Asian
already being hacked.
Oh, but the thing that this guy says is he's like, you know, we're Khalsa, right? We have the warrior mentality and the warrior spirit, right? Baba Deep Singh. Like, he drops these like stupid references. Like, it's stupid because it's coming from this guy. He completely misses the point of what Sikh and Khalsa is talking about. But again, there is like
Dope
something in our DNA that's kind of like makes us kind of fucking like stupid like this. Like, all like what's so crazy is this is GNSG, Guru Nanak Sahib Gurdwara, and then this ends up becoming the place where you got to think of this, like the fact that Hardeep Singh Nidra was shot there, like Guru Nanak Sahib Gurdwara is now officially, for the next however many years the Khalsa is around, is going to be part of the story of like Sikh liberation, the Khalistan movement, and Sikh history, along with like Kamagata Maru, along with by Mewa Singh. And what's crazy is Khalistan headquarters, straight up. The crazy thing is that even those like the Kamagata Maru, no one will ever admit this, but the Sikhs have been part of a nexus point whenever the entire planet is doing some fuck shit. Sikhs are on the other end being like, nah, we're not going to stand for this. And they're the ones who literally put themselves out on the line to be like, nah, Kamagata Maru, no other ethnicity, no other culture, no other religion was like, okay, let's actually try to do the thing that they're saying, the continuous journey, no stops, no nothing, and we will get there. We'll not take a legit cruiser or whatever, something comfortable to get there. We'll go in a transport ship with 150, 60 people to make it to the Canadian shores. No other ethnicity, no other religion, no other people did that. And on the Kamagata Maru, it was like 95% Sikhs. Everybody else was like Hindus, Brahmins, and Muzis and stuff, but it was the Sikhs. So that's, boom, example number one. By Mewa Singh. By Mewa Singh's the only guy who had the balls to be like, yo, these government officials are literally trying to like fuck us up. They're trying to send us off to Honduras and do all these crazy corrupt things. I'm just gonna shoot this guy. Because at the end of the day, like, law, lawyer, all that stuff just becomes fluff, because the law, everything, men make laws, and if the men are corrupt, the men are evil, like, what are the laws going to do for you? They're going to do nothing. So Mewa Singh was like, all right, this is how the Khalsa is going to get down, all right? You guys are corrupt. You guys are killing our people. And Mewa Singh did it after Hopkinson or whatever got somebody shot in the Gurdwara, which is like a big no-no. I don't care who you are. And then farmers protest. Was at the nexus point of these billionaires and all these like oligarchies and like all these crazy rich billionaires buying farmland all across the world, across America, across everywhere. Bill Gates just bought the apples that are used in apple cider vinegar, the Bragg's apple cider vinegar, which is like a really weird coincidence. He has like the most amount of farmland too. And then the Sikhs were the first massive world farmer protest people to basically be like, nah, you're not going to just buy up our land. You're not going to just squeeze us out and destroy our livelihood. And then because of this farmers protest by Sikhs from Punjab, it spread globally. Then the Germans started doing it, the Dutch started doing it, and it just became, and the French started doing it, all because it started, and the blueprint was laid. Even the truckers' convoy that the Canadians did, they got the blueprint from the farmers' protest. We're going to literally make a convoy and go to Parliament and just protest there. Originally, all the Kale during, what the fuck was that thing called? Black Lives Matter. All they would do is it was basically a parade through the streets with your fist in the air, which is like not much of anything. But the fact that like civil disobedience in this way, we're going to block your routes, we're going to block your trade, we're going to set up shanty towns, we're going to make it hard for you guys to like operate. Khalsa, Sikhs. It's us. It'll always be us, and it will forever be us. I will die on that fucking hill. Anyways. Yo, my boy Vicky. Yo, Tanvir. Yo, Jag. Alright, so it's like about these three guys. Nanak Gurdwara, another institution. Alex Fraser Bridge, good old, reliable. I know all these
first
blogs,
wave
man.
of gangsters, late mid 80s. And I mean, I started out just like almost every gang involved person does as a wannabe. You know, I mean, I sat down and I was like, wow, holy cow, right? These guys are awesome, right? They've got this power, like nobody screws with them, right? And it was pretty appealing to a kid that, I think, in my opinion, I mean, that had issues with self-esteem until I got involved with the gangs. Suddenly, boom, I belong here, right? Very powerful, emotion for a kid.
Not gonna lie though, that guy is like pretty. You can tell the way he speaks. He's like a super intelligent dude and has insane self-awareness. At this point, he's very well spoken.
Some of the people that have passed away were friends of mine, so it definitely has a personal impact on me. It makes me take a harder look at some of the kids that go through the system and that leave our school.
I think he became the principal of PM
until their 25th birthday once they get out there.
the fact that they make it seem like that, like the didn't even see my 21st birthday, like the Kale talk about, it's not that crazy. It's never been that crazy. Happens, but it's not that crazy. I truly believe that there's situations where violence is the answer. You can't Jew your way around every single thing and just be like contracts and laws and don't touch me. There's a point where you're gonna have to like power. I believe this in a lot of like standards of thinking, which is like pretty messed up now. But I think freedom of speech should only be applicable if you're ready to die for your beliefs. If you're ready to die for your bullshit, then yeah, freedom of speech should go for sure. But if you're not ready to like fisticuffs, what you're saying is cheap, it's garbage, and you actually ruin. That's why you dilute the idea of what truth even is. Like America is a country that has zero truth. They're so far away from it because freedom of speech allows every single dumbass to speak. And then now speech has become free, and it doesn't actually even matter what people say. But there obviously, if you look at the Khalsa ethos and Dharmically, you're not gonna like beat the fuck out of somebody just because you disagree with them. It's like if situations get to a point where you can't avail it, then yeah, that is something you're gonna have to do at one point. For example, when that massacre happened on Vaisakhi back in the 80s or 70s, and the Babbar Khalsas, most of their guys got killed. Out of the 13, I think all of them were like AKJs. Babbar Khalsa pursued all of that in court for like 3-4 years, and when it didn't, when the court system was against them, then they're like, "Aight, welcome to Babbar Khalsa rebel camp. Here we learn how to take down the oppressor," type shit. And that's basically what they did. And on that note, like Socrates, there's like stories of sometimes when he was in debates, he would literally just take off his shirt and flex his muscles. Because Socrates was a Janga Banda. He fought in wars. He's a veteran. He was about that shit. And here's another crazy thing. If you notice throughout history, whenever people go to war, Socrates to like Sikh warriors, any Japanese warriors, whatever, what ends up happening is war tames the soul to become more spiritual. It's this, you see it happen often. If you don't go through PTSD and all that, and you're not like some crazy moron or somebody who's like sadistic, but war makes you look so inward and you actually become more spiritual, more, you know, philosophical, like Socrates, like some of these Sikhs. Like a really good example is the guy who, Baba Bir Singh Narangabad, I think. Fuck, I need to find this guy's name. Damn, I'm not gonna find this like this. Okay, yeah, it is Baba Bir Singh of Narangabad. Like, he had that story. He fought in a lot of those wars with the missiles and stuff. And then after he opened up a data, and he was just chilling it, kicking it with the homies, doing lungers and all that kind of stuff. And then he was really about it. And, you know, war really does tamper the soul in a way. And I guess maybe this Deep guy has had the same experience. He was in all this crazy shit, and he's like, yo, there's more to life, like this ain't it. And so then he doubled back, which I respect. I think this came out in like 2007 or something.
Week. I live with my dad and my brother and my cousins. I don't talk to my brother.
The funny thing about when you went to Surrey, like high schools, is that it just seemed like no one knew how to be a student. And the way I mean is that dudes would just carry like one binder. You could tell how intelligent somebody was is how they came to class. So there was these fat binders, like these fat 5-star zip binders. Like these with like a handle, and I could just always remember seeing like the jacks pull up with just one for every single one of their classes. They'd have like it just this, like this is everything they had. And then the level above that for somebody smarter was somebody who had a backpack and like 2 or 3 binders for their class. These are all observations I had. I could have been a comedian in another life if I was like a lot more funnier. and not like serious all the time. 5-star binder. This is like such a random like observation I'm going through right now. Like something like this, something more chill. If I was that guy, I had a binder and I had I had a backpack with a few binders. The next level beyond that, like super nerd, was one binder for every single one of your classes, and you actually used your lockers between classes to go switch out your binders because everything was so neatly in your binder, and it wasn't just something as simple as this. It had like file folders, everything. A lot of the girls had that, but then I mean they ended up becoming hooers, so the school system didn't really help them a lot, I guess. But yeah, this is like the Surrey Jack kit is the 5-star binder. These, if you guys know, Firebird Adidas track suit red, this, and it's not the ones that say Adidas. It is the OG one, where it literally just has the Adidas logo, and it's like really enlarged. They don't really sell them anymore. I think I have to go on eBay to find it actually. Firebird Adidas Originals jacket. Okay, let's see. It's none of these. Not even this. Girls had something like this, but it's not this either. This is the Surrey Jack uniform right here. This with the matching bottoms. The Bob Marley Adidas tracks. I have that. I actually have the Bob Marley Adidas tracksuit. I actually have like 4 or 5. I'll start wearing them again. But yeah, so this is the top that they would have with the matching pants, obviously. Do you see how it's so much more bigger, the logo? Then you would have this binder, and then the Surrey Jack cut, which was like zeros on the side and I think a 1 on the top. Just something super simple. Haircut, 0 on the sides. Let's see. Like this. This is basically the Surrey, like a 0 on the side, 1 or 2 on the top. This is your Surrey Jack starter kit. Right here. Like these 3 things were essential. And that was basically the experience I like always had. And so this guy, similar haircut situation, but I guess he cannot have Adidas was not the thing.
Don't talk to her.
See, so this guy's like mom situation or something. True. I guess that's why they picked him.
I guess normally would fall through the cracks. Group of people.
I can tell my cousins like what I do. Did my with them. Loyal, for being loyal and stuff, and then you come.
What is this? Cineplex?
Get respect from everybody.
These are just some random dippers ready to watch some fucking Babu Maan movie, and they're acting like they're plotting and scheming.
This.
Yo, look at that. The double shirt. Oof. The EB Games is right there.
Some of the challenges in my old school are probably peer pressure, drugs, and fighting.
What are you doing?
So it always gets worse.
We're trying to get into Princess Margaret. Vicky had got on the waiting list, and when he had come and seen me, he came, shook my hand, came down, we sat down. He told me, that he
getting beat up or I want whenever I want, unless I leave like because your shoes scared them.
Like, this is everywhere, man. The fact that they make it seem like this crazy thing is just because I think what this really was, this is like Gora sensationalism. This is white people sensationalism, where they wanted to make our community seem like, oh my God, look how fucked up they are. They let these kids like just run around, get into gangs, and they do all this stuff, and they terrorize us. Like, I think that's what all this Warrior Boys, all this stuff was where they were able to be racist pieces of shit to us, beat the fuck out of us. Like, my mom had stories where they would literally have like burning crosses on their front lawns. People call them packies, throw shit at them. They basically gorified my mamme and my mom. My mama's real name is Jatinder. They called him Johnny. My other mama, Balroop, Bobby, Rajinder, Rosie, Rupinder, Romy. They did that. Like, they fucked us as much as they want. And then he started being like, nah, fuck that. We're going to start making our own money, and we will fuck you up. Parts of us will fuck you up. They're like, for whatever crazy shit Bindi Johal did in his drug-fueled, cocaine days, there's a lot of stories where if somebody said some shit to a Gyani and he was not like a brown guy, he's a Gora, he would fuck them up. And that like fear definitely started becoming this sensationalism. And that's why even to this day, I remember I was on philosophy classes discussion, and I'm sitting there on one end wearing a hoodie. The bandana wasn't there yet. And I'm chilling, and everyone's giving a like a thing about where they're from, you know? Oh, I'm from Port Moody, I'm from Maple Ridge, I'm from South Van, I'm from North Van, I'm from West Van, and I go, I'm from Surrey. The only brown guy in the class, philosophy. And somebody literally goes, yo, is it true? The drugs? The gangs? Is it really like that? I'm like, no, man, it's not like that, bro. Like, you guys are just fucking trippers. Like, that is truly the way they view us, this sensationalism. And I think these things, like, technically, okay, fine, but like, this is not a big deal. It'd be crazier if like 70% of your grad class or a grade is involved, knows, or something. This is not the hood in America, somewhere in fucking Baltimore or some shit. This is, half these kids have like a gang phase maybe in grade 8, 9, 10, 11, and then they end up going to university anyways. Like Qualin or whatever. So this is why I don't like shit like this. The way they're trying to like change the narrative on Surrey. But whatever, fuck it, yeah. You want to think that we're all these crazy fucks? Sure. And then in the end, we actually benefit from that because you break a stereotype and
they don't go to the temple. Or they don't. If I asked them anything about Sikh history and stuff, they probably wouldn't know. Now,
what is this guy saying about Sikh history?
Brown pride or Indo-Canadian pride or Sikh pride or whatever you want to call it. They can't speak the language. They don't go to the temple. Or they don't. If I asked them anything about Sikh history and stuff, they probably wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's a problem. Like, a lot of people don't know Sikh history. That kind of lifestyle. That's like a mixed issue.
Bottle say, go home, you Hindu.
Yeah, see?
I mean, it was a tremendously racist society. Like, you know, I remember sitting there waiting for the bus stop, 5-year-old kid, and people would throw beer bottles at you. Go home, you Hindu.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
it was
like,
a tremendously...
This goes back to something I think I said in one of the episodes where the world runs in a paradox where what you think is left will always be right. And I'll give you an example from a documentary I just watched recently. And this applies in everything, right? So in the Vietnam War, they wanted the countryside to stop joining the Viet Cong and the northern Vietnamese. And to do this, what they thought was a smarter move was to go to these fucking pins, burn down their houses, and make them move closer to the cities. And because they didn't want to move to the cities, that's why they were burning down their houses, these hamlets. And if they didn't listen, they would fucking shoot them. What kind of retardation thinking is that? Like, that's so obviously stupid. Like, obviously all these people are going to fucking join the Viet Cong. And so sometimes the way to deal with your enemy is to actually help them. It is a weird paradox that you might not think. Like a Seikanea, for example, which we do have these examples in our history. Coming from Rob Rye is crazy. He used to openly cheat on his wife. I don't know who Rob Rye is, to be honest. Crazy. You got to explain who Rob Rye is. And so I truly believe that's like Warren Buffett, right? When everyone's greedy, be fearful. When everyone's fearful, be greedy. Or, you know, the market can stay more rational than you can stay solvent. Like a lot of these things. There's that really sick scene in what the fuck is it called? Oppenheimer. I really like this scene. Oppenheimer splitting atom scene. So I'm just gonna have to do this the other way. Basically what happens is in the scene he has this whole thing where he goes light and whatever can't be paradoxical, but it is, like the whole quantum realm. And then like Sikh, Dharm, and all these Eastern spiritualities like teach you this, that it is at the end of the day actually very trippy and very paradoxical in nature, which is why you can't actually like understand this if you think so logical, if you think like it's straight and narrow. Let's see. Okay. J. Robert Oppenheimer. Watch it. There's basically a scene where he's explaining this, and he basically goes like, the paradox of the universe is that these things can't like exist at the same time, but they do. And like, how is this even possible? Einstein couldn't even figure this out, but I figured this out. And it's like this whole pivotal thing about how he is wrong, and it's actually more of a mind fuck than he can even like understand, which then goes to my point, which is that all this stuff in life is insanely paradoxical. So if these gore, there's such a crazy tangent, man. If these gore wanted to be more in line and fuck with us and actually wanted us to be better into their society, you offer us warm bread, you offer us love, quote unquote, and you accept us into your society, and then we go, yo, these people are actually nice, they're pretty cool, let's be nice to them, let's be cool with them. And then you actually absorb the other people into your culture and society because it shows warmth. That's what the Christians did, right? A lot of the time the Christian missionaries, it wasn't just war, they would offer bread and riches and teaching and knowledge, and basically be like, yo, these shitty situations that you're in, we can help you with them. And because of that, people started converting. And that's the mindset. It's always going to be, in a lot of these situations, the opposite of what you expect. Like, a classic one that people always joke about is like, if a girl hates you, it's because she loves you so much. Even if she's like fully hating you and stuff, then, you know, there's actually love. But if she's completely indifferent to you, then she actually doesn't give a fuck about you.
Of us, young people of color at that time, gang membership, gang involvement was a way to assert ourselves in the face of everyday, constant sort of, you know, I mean, a constant process, not only of systemic racism, where, like, you know, I mean, in the school system, where our role as people of color in constructing this country is completely eliminated, but very overt racism every single day. And I was very, very conscious of that when I became involved in the gangs. You know what I mean? That nobody is gonna me anymore. The next time somebody calls me a Hindu, they're gonna get it.
I actually fuck with that mentality, I'm not even gonna lie. I think that's a good mentality to have. You shouldn't let people get away with like talking shit and hiding behind laws and basically acting like you need to be the bigger person. Nah, fuck that. Like, you need to sock a motherfucker in the face. Like, most comedians will have experiences where they tell you like somebody has like decked them in the face, and it is because, you know, if you're just fucking being a piece of shit, or they think that you're like, again, freedom of speech, whatever, should come at a price, and it's that you might get your fucking face.
Kids fight with each other now. Brown kids fight with brown kids, and not as much as white kids anymore. But that's probably because we had a hard life. Like, people used to.
That whole brown kids fight brown kids thing is only because everyone moved out to Surrey, and so what fucking white person's left? Like, the white people I went to fucking high school with were just weirdos by that point. There was no normal Chads and Brads. It was really weird, like, white kids that wore fucking like cargo shorts even in the winter type of kids that were just like really fucking
One of my friends just fought for me yesterday. I was supposed to fight some kid, but he brought his friend to fight for him. And then his friend was way bigger than me, so my friend fought that kid for me.
And where was that fight?
Harvey's Market.
At lunchtime?
Yeah.
So there was a lot of people watching?
Yeah.
A situation that they do not want to be in. They're basically being kind of...
Where you don't even remember why you're fighting. Like,
when's it gonna
really?
stop? Yeah, like...
This is such a fucking gross look. The fucking piercing down here and the
I've asked a
the
couple
thinned out eyebrows. God damn.
people too, like when I was saying before, like I've asked people, why do you guys fight? And they say, I don't remember anymore. So obviously, if it's not even worth remembering, then why fight?
Yeah, of course a woman would say that, like, fucking, why fight? Yeah, sometimes words are not enough. Sometimes. Not always, but sometimes.
You were always constantly meeting people that were, you know, many of them were older, a number of them had spent...
I like this guy's narrative a lot more, that, like, yo, people were fucking, like, racist as fuck, and we just had to fuck them up. Like, I like this
years
storyline.
In youth detention center already. I mean, like, you know, pretty hardened kids. So all of a sudden, you know, you're hanging out with these kids and sort of, you know, you start acting like them, and, you know, there's a certain sort of level at which they're at. I don't know, it just sort of happened, I guess. You know, one day they're like, okay, well, let's go rip off this car. Okay, hey, man, next thing you know, somebody's got a gun in the car, right? I mean, you're like, wow, let me check out that gun. Next time, you're like, well, I'm going to go out and get a gun now, right? So you go out and get a gun too, right? Okay, well, you know, and I remember one day we were broke, and I just said to my friend, I was like, well, you know, these other guys rob stores. Let's just go rob the store, man. We just walked into the store, the first time we ever did it. Never did an armed robbery before, just walked in. Give us your money. Right.
The fact that he's snitching on himself this hard, and like he
doesn't want to
like
do.
what's I forgot if he goes to jail or not. I know he got like fucked up in some fights and like
all the little
machete
up and coming
stabbed
gang
almost.
members from all over the Lower Mainland, every ethnicity you could imagine. And basically, we put this together because we were sick of needless death.
We went to over 70 or so funerals. We've sort of stopped counting it. You know, we were tired of
teenagers, you know, they just kind of get hooked on this thing about this gangster kind of lifestyle, the way it's glorified on TV. And that line between TV and reality just becomes blurred. And that's why I think things like what Adam and Doug are doing are great, because that helps to kind of fine-tune that blurry line for them.
Like, I mean, that's fucking dope. I'm not, like, saying that you should do it, but if a dharm like Sikhi, which you're in, is, and even Punjabi culture is, like, having fucking guns is dope, being fit is dope, like, what do nerds and fucking not, like, other people, let's say, okay, it's like the rule of 10. Three people are going to be on one side, 100%, never going to go to gangs, nothing. Like, my cousin, he's not about that and doesn't care. You know, he could wrestle, all that shit. He's like, no, I'm straight-laced, going to become a lawyer. So 3 people 100% aren't. 3 people are going to be like that. Let's just say, for example's sake. And then the 4 people, the people on the fence, like, you need to bring them to one side or the other. Like, if somebody has tendencies and has, like, this, like, masculinity view and all this kind of stuff and sees that, like, girls are going for this kind of shit, like, what do you think that they're, like, the people that are undecided would go for? They would be like, yeah, I fuck with some shit like this. I know so many chicks, so many women, everything that end up going for this. That stereotype is true. Like, women do flock to that. So what do? You see that they're winning, and you want to win too. You want to win. At the end of the day, just because you're going to get successful, the university life will make you successful in 10 years from grade 12, let's say. But the gang life will make you successful with, like, money and all that stuff within 2 years. Obviously, it ends in either fucking death or mutilation or prison, which is, you know, sucks. But if you see the money, all that, like, how, you know what I'm saying? And so I think that they're doing a better job of promoting this by being like, don't do it, than a better job of promoting a more straight-laced lifestyle and being like, yo, there's a lot of good shit here too, that, you know, that there could be. But, like, I mean, in today's economy, with how things are going, like, I don't even know if
they don't get that
really true anymore.
Right? They're not showing the crime.
Again, like, I think most of these guys that, like, join gang stuff are stupid. And that's why they get flamed out so fast. There's none of these guys are ever actually in it because they have that much bravado, intelligence. Like, if they're, like, a creative character in a game, they're lacking. If there's, like, a Skyrim game and it's, like, putting the little levels or whatever for the person, they're only good on, like, stupidity and brainless violence, and everything else is so low, and that's why they flame out, they die. One of my buddies from Abbotsford, he had a story. He was saying he started getting bullied and stuff, and then the gangs, some gang out there made him feel welcomed, and then he joined and he did a hit on, like, 5 dudes because, like, you feel welcomed. There is a sense of, like, people pleasing when you finally get the affection and, like, acceptance of people that you actually want. You know, your mom and your dad, they will give it to you no matter what kind of thing most of the time. But when you get it from people that you feel like we're looking at you in another way, like, if there's okay, I'm going to do, like, a reverse situation to explain this. If you were a dude and you went to a high school and the hottest bitches there, right? The 5 hottest bitches in that fucking grade all liked you, you would act a fool. And that is basically the story of Twilight, technically speaking, which, you know, I saw a post on Twitter which explained it as that, which is, you know, as a girl, why girls love that shit is because they're having to pick between, like, the 2 archetypes of man that women fawn over the most, werewolves and fucking vampires. The man, the wolf, the werewolf is the idea of the beast inside that you have to tame through your kindness and love, you know, the I can fix him type of mentality for a chick. And the vampire is the guy who's, like, holding back all his, like, not evil, but, like, his bloodlust for literally your blood. And he has to control it because of how much he's in love with you. Like, there is those things, like, directly make women, like, so infatuated. I think the other archetypes are werewolf, vampire, pirate, and one other one. I forgot the fourth one, but those are kind of like the top three. The pirate symbolizes like freedom and ability to never be tied down, and somebody who has like no moral quandaries with dealing with the governments and strict rigid laws. But yeah, if you were a guy in that place, and then you had all this kind of stuff, you would start getting fucked up. And so now imagine that these dudes are getting, like, it does naturally happen that the dudes who are like kind of like gang coded in high school end up getting the hottest bitches. And so it just makes sense. So, you know, you might not like be knowingly doing like, yo, if I beat this guy up, then fucking Simran's gonna fuck with me. I don't think it's like that, like, intelligent. It's more like you want to keep getting your reputation up to get to the point where, you know, these chicks will fuck with you. And so how do you can't rewrite that part. So you're just gonna have to accept that some dudes will, some dudes won't. It is what it is.
Up to them in the rap videos and stuff like that. Right? You kind of see.
I've heard of him, and this is just a clip to show you how cocky he was.
Like, this guy, like, this is so lame, bro. Like, what is going on here, man? Like, are you a saying like, well, fucking chin strap but like half shaved beard? Like, this is so fucking whack. Like, why would anybody want to fuck with you?
I just want these guys to know you got another thing coming, bitch. I'm still around.
He wasn't around long. Bindi Johal's fast life came to a fast end. Shot to death at this nightclub.
We got it every day, man. Hindu, Paki, this and that. And that's, you know, the mix that Bindi came out of. And the thing is this, is that he used his name Bindi and he used it unapologetically. He sat down and he says, my name is Bindi. You can't get more Punjabi than that, man. Bindi Johal. And he became a legend. Larger than life. And
you've been the Joel's from the same brand as me.
You know, I remember my mom even, she was just like, oh, that's disgusting what he's doing, scumbag gangster. But at least white folks ain't gonna with us anymore.
See, I like this guy's narrative a lot, because that shit is like, that's a massive factor in this of why, you know, and again, you're dealing with such a rowdy people, generally Punjabis, which is my other theory why, like, the gurus chose them. I don't think that there's like, I don't think like scaring, like the whole beyond scared straight thing really works, because it does one of two things. Either it pushes those people like already further into getting into gang violence and whatnot, or like, yeah, it can potentially scare them, you know, saying all this like, oh, Bindi died, and then yeah, maybe us. But the thing is, if your prefrontal cortex is not even developed, you're talking to a bunch of dumb high schoolers and being like, hey, if you fucking get into this gang life, you're gonna die. Like, that means nothing to them. Like, these people are not intelligent enough to like do it. Like, that's like, oh, if you go cliff diving, you might die. Yeah, people still fucking do it, because again, you make stupid decisions as you're growing up. And the whole situation is just mad fucking weird, and I think it's a problem that ended up compounding, and it's just it's like fucking gotten out of control. I have no absolute solution to what how you solve it, but I think white people caused the problem in the first place, and I don't want to use that card because it sounds like a cop out, but again, like it basically snowballed, because like that guy was saying with the whole Bindi Johal everything, and Bindi Johal became like a legend. Like, the top 5 most expensive fucking trials in Canada, I think like 2 out of 5 belong to Punjabis. Bindi Johal and the Air India bombing. Both of those are in the top 5 most expensive trials. And so like, we basically have like some of the richest guys. Like, we dominate all aspects of Canadian life in every fucking way possible, which is so G'd out. Top 5 most expensive trials of Canada. Man, the top 5 most expensive trials of Canada history. Okay. Air India was number 1. This was the most expensive trial in Canadian history. And I think that Bindi Johal one was another one, because, and that was such a crazy story. They were sleeping with one of the jurors, and it basically Air India trial, yeah. So that, how it estimated cost 130 million. Like, obviously that one's more. Robert Pickerton, yeah, that was a crazy one. How much did this trial cost? And you knew the government wanted to get this guy the fuck off the street, man. They hated this dude. It was among the most, yeah, right here. Brothers Jimmy and Roger was among the most expensive in Canadian history. So that's like another one. And the fucking story where Peter Gill started fucking one of the fucking jurors and the whole thing got thrown out. How fucking insane of a story that is. Like, that's, like, you couldn't even write that in fucking Sopranos, dog. Like, that's how insane that is. God damn.
These guns are all replicas. Right?
I would totally want a fucking handgun.
Took this off. Grade 6 and 7 students at an elementary school in Vancouver. If I pull up to a school ground, I hear there's a shooting, a kid's got a gun and stuff.
How does this help? Like, you fucking put a gun in a kid's hand and be like, look, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I want to get a gun. The fuck? This is like the dumbest tactic you could possibly have.
And unfortunately, I'm going to shoot him. I won't feel good about it, but I'll go home to my kids at the end of the day, right? I'm not going to negotiate. Oh, is that a real gun? Knock him down at this.
I think this whole way is like so stupid of like how to fucking deter kids. I think you just have to accept that certain kids are going to do it no matter what. There's like really nothing you can fucking do about it.
A white city, we'd be like considered thieves and stuff, right? But over here, like all the stores are like Punjabi people, and they just like say we're not thieves and stuff. They just like treat us normal. And yeah, there's lots of power living in Surrey and being Punjabi.
I fuck with this. Not the kid, but I fuck with what he said. Yeah, Vasaki. Back in the day. See, look how many less people there were, bro. Like, traffic still functioned, like, relatively normal back then. And you could, like, see it. They got rid of this shit, though, which is good. No more fucking shit. That's me right there.
In Sikh tradition, we've got.
I actually know who this kid is, though. This kid right here.
In Sikh tradition,
that's I know.
We've got a notion of a soldier saint. The soldier saint is one who is obliged to fight in the service of humanity. It has profound meaning in my life, and got me to think about the nature of life, how we live, and what type of a life I want to live. I think what we have here is like a lot of second-generation youth, and they're drawing upon certain aspects of Sikhism, but they're taken out of context. I mean, that warrior tradition.
Yes, you told me. He does talk about it. Like,
but it's completely out of context of its connection.
Just like how the camera's like, look, there's a gun in the word Punjabi. Oh my God.
To the struggle for social justice.
Did you go to Visaki?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah? What did you like about it?
Police there,
Why were the police there?
because everybody was fighting.
Where? Where was everybody fighting?
Strawberry Hill.
Yeah.
During the bridge. Happens every year.
And the police are there every year?
Yeah.
There's so, like, fuck, man. This will go down in, like, Surrey history 100 years from now as, like, pivotal shit.
You live with your cousins now?
Yeah, I got kicked out like a couple days ago.
Really?
Yeah. That's that thing. He knows.
Time goes by.
Right?
This is my high school right back here. This guy is so, like...
It's something that you only see in movies. My mama, Gary Sidhu, he was a school teacher, and he was murdered. I was right behind the shooters. When Gary ran for it, they ran after Gary, and they were shooting at him, and I was right behind him, watching him shoot him. And then they...
But you hit a
lawyer in India, right? And she came here, she did all sorts of grunt labor work, you know what I mean? She worked.
See, that's another thing. Like, so my dada came here with fucking double degrees. They're like, go fucking clean chicken coops. And because, yeah, you don't... First of all, they weren't going to give him a fucking good job. And then on top of that, they're like, you don't cut your hair, all right, fuck you, go clean chicken shit. And this guy is saying like his mom was a lawyer, and they're like, yeah, eat fucking rocks, bitch. Like they were not. And so this is what I'm saying. Like they created this problem. You fucking Canada were part of the British Empire and fucking knew that Sikhs are a martial fucking race, that they will pop shit, they will fuck you up, they will fight and die, and now you want them in your country because they're one of the best fucking ethnicities that you can think of to populate your cities, that work hard, not fucking on government welfare and all this other type of fucking shit, and they come with degrees, they come with money, and you say, no, that shit does not matter here. You have your fucking degrees, go clean chicken shit. And now you expect their kids to love you guys, to love your system, to love your society, to assimilate super well? No, they're gonna be like, fuck you, fuck your racism, put a fucking sword in my hand and I'll fuck you up. And that is the problem that they created. And they don't want to take acceptance of that. That, yeah, racism was fucked up, we did this, and then we caused a problem to snowball into this, and now these Browns are fucking involved in drug trafficking at an international level worth billions of dollars, and it's so snowballed. Like, it's like saying, like, how are we gonna get rid of the cartels? Bro, the cartels are basically a fucking pseudo government in Mexico at this point. So the train is gone. It's runaway. It's gone. Like the French Connection, like the mafia. Like you could fucking arrest as many of these guys, but it's so much more than that. Like, and so gang culture actually then starts to hit on deep on like an emotional level as like you as a human being, which would be the example would in like the Yakuza is the Oyabun. And so the Oyabun is the boss or leader of a Yakuza clan who's also seen as like a patriarchal father type of situation. Like Oyabun is a parent figure. The term Oyabun translates to parent figure, and the relationship with the Kobun is often likened to a familial bond. And so you basically take these fucking degenerates and retards off the streets, and you're like, you're part of this family. I'm your father. You shall listen, and you will die for the family. And it can happen, and it does happen. And what are you gonna do now? How do you possibly stop this? You can't. Like what are we fucking talking about here? I have no like I'm not really put a lot of thought into it, but I don't see no way to get people to not be about it.
Hard. She put up with a lot of abuse, domestic violence. You know what I mean? And tried her best. You know what I mean? And
can somebody order me a pizza?
Yeah. And she just looked at us and she just that's how you repaid me. So hit me pretty hard, yeah. So I had some time to think about it over the next year. I did my first year in prison when I
so this guy did go to prison.
Turned 18. They're asking for 14 years in prison for me. I was 18 years old. I was your guys' age. This is the question I asked myself. What happened to my life? I'd spend the next 10 years trying to figure that out. Now I'm an ex-convict. I'm a grade 10 dropout. I've never had a job in my life. And I don't know how to operate outside of the world of gangs. Pretty shitty place to be in. Within 7 or 8 months of getting out of prison, I was right back into it. And this time it was bigger, badder than ever.
10 years he did? Damn. They don't even give sentences out like that no more.
We were there at Subway. Possession.
Here's the thing, some of these kids, like that guy, like does he really end up becoming in, like going to gang? Who knows? Probably not. Maybe he did, but like some of these kids actually don't, they fuck around in high school, they fight like boys fight, and then they're like, all right, yeah, I'm going to university, or my grades are good enough, I like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Upset the number 5 team right here. Come on, let's go. Used to having, but you want homework club, you need
a Sun Farm.
Back. But you want homework, a weekend 11 to be.
We're going to be talking at 80% of you have a
people have made. I think it's, you know, have luxuries, but not to that extent that you're.
I don't know.
If your parents spoke English, like you're at
I
a
was
super
so
like advantage.
in such a mess. I didn't see a way out. It was getting to that point like I was going to get shot, like I was going to get killed. And I was starting to make very stupid decisions. Like you start becoming so hedged in. The police are pressuring you on one side. You've got like all these different enemies on another. Like I just don't live that kind of life anymore. But I still sometimes find myself subconsciously scanning realities.
That's so cute.
The kill me, I tried to kill him. And years later, you know, we're best friends. Like, I'm so glad I didn't succeed. And that's what I'm trying to say to these young people. It's like, you guys are going blowing each other away. It's so stupid. Like,
unless you're 50 Cent, that guy
been
has so
there.
much beef for like all the
Or me, but just being good, not even.
In touch with your mom now?
It's been a while, like a year probably. It's not they seen us
graduate.
Doing the work.
Want to make sure that your good time does not ruin.
Okay. 289. Bro.
See, I think like no one really talks about. They don't bring that whole manosphere part of it. I don't know if they do in high school today, which is like half these chicks are gonna like the guys that are doing the worst things in life. And now how are you gonna deal with that? And how would you deal with that? You'd either be like, dude, I want a fucking piece of the pie to get like my own thing going. And so I think that that's just something that I just think that's something that no one really talks about, which ends up just becoming a problem in like the psyche. Because like I truly believe like women play more of a part in this than you might admit, because I know so many things that cut their hair to get pussy. And it's like one of the saddest things that I've ever witnessed and stuff. And like they always become like a husk of themselves. Like I would say COVID was the greatest gutty killer, because I don't know, for some reason all these dudes are just like, I can't pull or whatever. And then they just started like fucking pulling their hair. And then like no one will admit it, because no one wants to be that. It's become such a stereotype now that like you couldn't pull, so you did this. And so nobody wants to admit that they couldn't pull as a Yenny. And so now they cut their hair because I couldn't fucking like keep up to the pressure of that life and stuff. Even though, you know, the one most biggest supported time in Sikh history is like Maharaja Ranjit Singh's empire, and they're literally going to Hira Mandi, which is a red light district in Lahore, and these fucking Sikh misildars are literally fucking whores, and they're drinking alcohol, they're doing opium, they're fucking doing shahidi deg, and no one and for a second thought like, oh my bug, bro. But now that's like an excuse that people have made, because again, and so like I knew this guy one time, he got drunk and he admitted, yeah, I did it because I wasn't getting laid, and this one chick I really wanted to get laid by. And so like a misildars, visiting, brothels, painting. Oh, that's not looking good. Ranjit Singh. Jesus Christ. How do I fucking find these pictures? Sikh chiefs, visiting brothels, painting, 1800s. Here we go. Like this right here. This is a really famous picture where this Indian man with his servant, this like he has this bug, and you know Sikhs used to wear earrings as well. That's like a controversial thing people don't want to talk about. This is Desa Singh Majitia caressing with a lady. She's got her attendant, he's got his attendants, and they're getting lit and they're having fun. And the red canopies and stuff is to imply that like this is a bit of a rendezvous, if you want to call it that. And so that excuse will forever not be valid, in my opinion, if a guy ever says that. It's just like, no, you're just too weak of a fucking banda to deal with the realities of like what women are like. Alright, promise.
I don't know, it feels pretty good, like to graduate and stuff, to make everyone happy, make my parents happy. But I think I'm gonna miss school.
If you miss high school, bro.
And you know, I want you guys to, you know.
Yeah. If you miss high school, it's a pretty sad thing, man.
Many people in this world that take a chance.
Nothing.
Oh, I originally thought that Vicky and Tanvir were buddies.
I'm almost there.
Like cousins. What if like somebody just like had a heart attack on fucking stream? Like, what would they do? What is this song, bro? You referring to the one with all of them in blue turbans? No, there's a lot of different pictures that if you like look, I'm trying to think of one very specific one. Fuck, let me see if I can find it. Sings red light. This is such a fucked up thing to search up. Sings red light district 1800s painting. Let's see. This is obviously the one I already showed. Let's see if there's one underneath. There's one really famous one that I always I've had to show a couple of people a few times, and I always show that one as my example. Fapé Marcher in their bar and throwing my tenants and local ladies. Like, to think that they weren't like smashing puss, bro. Obviously they were. Like in like Sikh writings, Kavi Santokh Singh talks about the use of opium. Nahangs openly did Shahidi Deg. There's a granth called the Prem Sumarg Granth. That's like about love making, I think. Prem Sumarg Granth. The true way to love. It is said that the writer is Guru Gobind Singh, but the anti-Muslim and anti-women writings in it prove that Guru Gobind Singh in no way could have written this Granth. I don't believe that. Written probably in the 18th century, just kind of a Ratnam attempting to prescribe norms of behavior in religious as well as social practice. Dal Panth. Chapter 1 opens with what may be called a prologue. The tour collection 1 with the girls dancing and all of them having cups in their hands. Brainsmark is wild. It even says slavery is fine. I don't know. I think, yeah, the one you're referring to in the tour collection, I know what you're talking about there. There's a bunch of pictures that you can see. I've had some on my phone and stuff too. Describes these rights. Yeah, Prem Samarg goes into some like really wild stuff for sure. I've never read it, but I just know like a little bit on it. Indonesian women into the culture prior to the singing civil reforms. I mean, I'm gonna have a guy who knows all this stuff, and he will talk about it because I don't want to say the wrong thing. But I just know that like the Prem Samarg Granth exists. Like these things are talked about. The Khalsa does talk about it. It's not just, you know, let everything, you know, happen. But anyways, that was a long tangent. That was an hour-long tangent. That's how these pods go. Let's take a break and fucking let me show you. Yo, houseofjoehall.com. E2, 20% discount. Get it now. Get it while supplies last. You will not be disappointed. Support the pod. Support the stream. Support, you know, this new drop is only gonna allow for future drops to happen, which I think you guys will end up fucking with. But back to the website, there's two things I wanted to show. So there's this, so you can just go through it. There's a bunch of different mixes. So there's this. You have to listen to it like probably on your end because like, again, the quality through this. This one, I originally did not like this one a lot. I do want to say that, but it's like grown on me a lot more. All of these are available on the houseofjoehall.com website. So yeah, I mean, listen to it. There's a lot of cool mixes in here. I'll go through some of them for the people. I'll start doing, like, when the streams are much longer, like, I'll actually work on mixes live, right? But right now, there's, like, just so many thoughts I'm on, and, like, Get Out and stuff. There's, like, the Smack That Goodie where I did a reverse, where it's the Smack That vocals on. In fact, he's the one singing the song this way. You creeping, I can see you from my shadow. Wanna jump up in my Lamborghini Gallardo. Baby, go to my place and just get it like Tavo. You feel me? This one, Surma with Mercy. This and the one after this, I think, is called Telegraph Sunday. These are like two of my favorite hip hop Desi mixes I've done, for sure. I think this just goes so fucking perfectly. And again, this why like our music annoys the shit out of me. Just because if you're trying for hip hop, the reason why like all these Dipper songs don't have amazing beats is because they don't know how to do the reverse, which is they record their composition by. So they record the vocals and then make the beat on it after. It never works out. If you make the beat first and write according to the beat, you go into the inflection of the pockets of the beat. But that's not how Desis record, which is why there's never been like amazing beats made. There's good composition, good vocals and stuff like that, but it's never this. It's supposed to be Sucha Singh as the devil, but my bad. It's Devil in a New Dress with Sucha Singh by Kuldeep Manik. And this is my favorite part right here. This is my other favorite one. Childish Gambino. Fuck, I love music so much. This one's a sick mix. It's A$AP Rocky's rendition of Heaven or Hell by Raekwon and Ghostface from Only Built for Cuban Links, which is by RZA produced a track for Raekwon and Ghostface Killer called Heaven and Hell off of Only Built for Cuban Links. Michael Affairs, I think his name, made this like symphony album called 37th Chambers. L. Michael Affairs, I think is his name. Sorry if you guys can hear that. So L. Michael Affair, Heaven and Hell. So that's what this is. And then A$AP Rocky turned this into Wavy Bone. And then so same sample, etc. And then your boy E the First turned that into Such a good track. Some jazzy beats, Kendrick. This one everyone loves when they hear it. You just gotta let it play for a little bit. I'll be right Okay, based on what I've read, Hira Mandi didn't turn into red light district till the British institutionalized it before the just house. The thing about that is that if you understand the Cartesian culture of India, so that's like what Umarao Jan is about. So this is like a really famous, the one with Rick. So like the Cartesian dancer, they did have the ability to choose who they fucked. But it was like it was like a high level escort situation. You went for dancers, and like she basically got to choose out of the dudes who she wanted to fuck, but most of the dudes there had the money to like kind of want to fuck her too. And then she got to choose, which is again the story, and that's kind of like how it worked. So in a sense, it's not a red light district where like you just go to buy pussy. It's like a much more of like a give and take where you are like courting. It's like a Cartesian courting situation where like you're kind of like, I fuck with you, and she's like, I fuck with you back, and then etc. But most of those chicks were basically meant for the pleasure of men, either like visually, sexually, and then they also educated like a lot of these boys. Like a lot of the rich men would send their boys to these women because they're highly cultured. Like they're seductresses. Like they were actually very high level, like intelligent women who were like Cartesians. So that's why it's a little bit more complicated than just like but basically like if you're the guys in power, which are the Misildars and Sikhs, like who are these Cartesians gonna fuck? They're not gonna fuck like the lowly Muslim beggars. Like they are probably gonna give it up to some fucking Misildars and shit, you know? This is my favorite mix. I mean, go check them out, bro. Like, there's like so many fucking mixes on here. Like, they're just so dope. These are the more like housey ones. I love this one so much, dude. This ending right here. This fucking ending is so nuts. The thing is, at that point, like a lot of the Misildars, they did transition because Lahore was under the control of like the Pungi missile. So by the late, like let's try to fucking contextualize this. When did the missiles start taking over Punjab? Because then like Maharaja Ranjit Singh was very famous for this, right? There's like so many famous stories why Kalifullah Singh or Nawab, Kalifullah Singh was gonna whip the fuck out of the kid because he was fucking with these Cartesians and stuff. So it was at that point. At the point that they took over Lahore, like when did the Sikh missiles capture Lahore in 1765 by the Pangi Aluwali Ramgarhia missiles, and like they still had some of those like OD. It's not like, okay, Baba Deep Singh was not going to be there. He was not going to be caught dead there. Like, he wasn't about that life. But some of these other guys that were like, you know, they were kind of like about it. So it is what it is. It's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I mean, technically, like, it's not proper rat and maryada and stuff, but it's not like the worst thing out of like everything possible, I would argue. Like the generation of like Maharaja Ranjit Singh's grandfather, that generation of dudes were like the real hardcore, stuck in the jungles types of fucking like badasses. And then their sons, like that's when it kind of started to get watered down and stuff. Check out the mix, bro. It's fucking fire. And then we also have some videos. I'll probably like every so once in a while come back to the music and like and stuff. I'm so sorry, like the instant like loudness of the music. Not bad. So this is like something I made. It was like on the original version of the site. There's this oh my god, man. The best movie, like this is such a trippy movie that was made. It's called Sarbansa Dani Guru Gobind Singh. It's trippy because basically it's the Chote Sahibzade Shahidi from Wazir Khan's perspective. The fact that they had, like, somebody had the like introspection to make a fucking movie like that is like insanity to me. And it's actually amazing, okay? Let's watch it. Okay, so it starts off in a really tripped out way. Actually, before we get to this, I needed to go fucking take a piss. So I'm going to put on, I'll let you watch the video from my website. Alright, I'll be right back. What's up? Amrit make janai khaseda. Cam low guard, bro. This guy's goated. So some of the footage from this like video is like this that you see in the background is actually like footage like days before the attack in June 1984. How I got it, I cannot speak about, but I got it in a very like trippy way. Maybe one day I gotta talk to the guy. And so you can see the Singhs in the background. They're like loading up like bolt action rifles, and you're like when you're like doing that to clean the magazine out. Basically, it's like so for fire it doesn't jam and shit like that. And like this, where like a Singh lookout and stuff. But there's like certain footage that like this is like such a legendary. This is one of the greatest. Like I would love Sikhs ready for battle. Let them come. 1984. I swear to God, Google does not operate as like as a. Oh wait, that's probably why. Fuck, that's also not a good search. How do I find this image? 6 Operation Blue Star 1984. Right here. This picture, I need to save this, man. This picture is fucking. This is such a goated picture. This is probably like one of the best pictures that exist in like recent Sikh history, man. Like half these things, they're actually like Shaheed. Like this thing right here. This was Santaji's driver, I believe, or like or he was a radio guy. I think he was like an ex-military radio guy. There's that Battle Amritsar documentary that I actually have. You know, I'm a lucky guy. And then I read like every so often when I watch it, like this picture is just so fucking legendary, man. Anyways, yeah, I love that footage, man. And just like the Nahang documentary is pretty wild too. But whatever, I'll show it to you. So anyways, this movie came out called Sarbanch Dani Guru Gobind Singh. I recommend everyone watching it. The fact that it's even on fucking it's on YouTube is crazy. So this is like they're showing all these like
Mata Sundari ji ne Delhi di sangatan vallon
so like in the beginning of the movie, I don't know why, like it doesn't make any sense to the plot, but like they're showing like all these items of the gurus and stuff, like the Guru's Jola, Akrapan, some of their plugs. Look at this. I rarely get to see this image every now and then. It's like a really tiny Guru Granth Sahib Di Bead, which is like insanity that someone like this is cool stuff, like that we were creating stuff like this. This is amazing. Like look at this. I wonder if you can find that tiniest Guru Granth Sahib. Yeah, right here. Like, dude, how crazy is that? A pocket Guru Granth Sahib. Like this takes pocket Guru Granth Sahib to the next level. It's like so cute and like tiny. And I can't like the fact it's impossible to read, I would assume, you know, but like somebody just did it as a flex. Like, yo, look, I can write this tiny. It's like those guys that write on rice. They can like write names on rice. That level of skill on this, the craftsmanship required to make something this amazing is such insanity. Because, and look at the fact, like even the pages have the design on them because you need to write constantly. No, like if you make one mistake, man, like that whole page is done. And if it's a double-sided page, like you have to redo the other side. Like how much work was put in for something this insane? We don't make cool stuff like the Khalsa Panth does not make cool stuff like this anymore. But this is cool. I think this is so cool. And so like all this random stuff. Okay, whatever. The beginning, this thing, like this family has it. They like bring it and parade it around every so often. It's pretty dope. Okay, let's see. And then this song has like songs by Jagjit Singh. And if you know, Jagjit Singh is just the GOAT.
चमकौर साहब गुरु वजीर खान बतनाल कर बखाए
सवा लाख से एक लड़ाऊं
They're pretty good movies. I can't. It's like the story, and then it talks about like basically this movie starts where that Wazir Khan believes that he's gotten the head of Guru Gobind Singh. That's how this movie starts. Like so, you'll see this scene right here. Right here. He thinks that's Guru Gobind Singh Ji's head. And so he's like super hyped about it. But little did he know.
ਮੁਲ ਖੁਦਾ ਦਾ ਹੁਕਮ ਬਾਦਸ਼ਾਹ ਦਾ ਪੀਰ ਖਾਦੇ ਹਜ਼ੂਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੇਸ਼ ਸਹੀ ਸਲਾਮ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਪਨਾਹ ਦੇਵੇਗਾ ਉਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਆਪਣੀ
They thought, okay, and so this guy right here, this is where the movie gets good in my opinion. This character, he is I need to use this. I need to remember his name. The brothers who owned Chamkor Saab. Okay, it's one of these brothers named Rai Jod or Rai Kalla. That's him. And basically he's being punished for allowing Guru Gobind Singh Ji to use the Chamkor Sahib to fight, which was like a huge beef and problem. And there's this amazing movie. I've seen this movie so much that the fact that this scene is most replayed is probably because of me. Like especially looking on YouTube. Oh, such sick energy.
थप्पड़ तू मेरे मुंह ते नहीं मारिया ए थप्पड़ तू अपनी बादशाहत दे मुंह ते मारिया बदजुबान मैं
This is probably peak Punjabi filmmaking. I'm being dead ass because like at such a low budget, everything, the storytelling, even the introspectiveness of the fact that they're telling the story from Wazir Khan's perspective. Wow. Like they don't make movies like that no more. And this now they show the fucking crazy way that Mughals used to like torture people. And so he's basically doing by Nandalal's like adoration of Guru Gobind Singh's Barney right here, or not Barney I guess, but like poetry.
Guru Gobind Singh. ले जाओ इस काफिर लोग इस तो जिंदा जमीन विच गड के इस ते शिकारी कुत्ते छड़ दो.
So basically he just said, yo, go starve some dogs, put this dude in a fucking pit with only his head showing, and like sick the dogs on his head. That's how he's gonna die. I don't know if that's accurate to what happened in history, but that's a pretty fucking like insane way to die. And then Jagjit Singh, amazing.
Shah Shahan Shah Guru Gobind Singh Gobind Singh Gobind Singh Gobind Singh Bardo Alam Shah Guru Gobind Singh Gobind Singh Gobind Singh Gobind Singh Khasm Raja Ka Guru Gobind Gobind Singh.
It's so funny because they didn't have the technology for like Adobe Premiere. So the pictures of Guru Gobind Singh are literal pictures that they're like zooming in and out of. And so Jagjit Singh, this is like the battle of Sarsa Nadi, where like the Sikhs have to fend off an attack while being on the run for days. And like so much shit just happened at this river. It's a fucking insane. Like you can see they're fighting on both sides. They're like, yo, the Khalsa really went through it, dog. Like this, it just like, and they were like down to fight to the last. Like 300 is such an insane story for the Spartans. Wow, 300 Spartans. And the real story actually is 10,000 Spartans were there fighting at the pass of Thermopylae against the Persians and held out with them. And then they had found out that one of the dudes betrayed them and that they were going to come and like do a pincer movement. And so out of the 10,000, 300 stayed to cover the retreat of the rest. And that's that story that's mythified. Guru Gobind Singh Ji had like 10 versions of that. Like the Battle of Chamkor Sahib, 50 against 10,000. Or, you know, the matter doesn't matter. The number doesn't matter because 50 against even 500, 1,000, like you're outnumbered so much. And Chamkor Sahib wasn't even like a fort. Like Chamkaur Sahib is basically the equivalent of like a fucking mound on a hill. Like that's all it was. It was just like technically like a much more advantageous position in that spot. Like this area right beside the river, it's advantageous because you have the river on one side to block enemies from there, so you only have to focus from 3 sides. But it's just like a mound. Like that's all it really is. Like where Chamkaur Sahib is, it's just a mound. It's there's nothing, and the Guru held off for like however many days, no water, no food, with 50 Singhs. Sarsa Nadi, they held off armies for how many days? Anandpur Sahib, like, and there's just so many stories across Sikh history that just always end up like this. The 21 at the Battle of Sarangani and stuff, just insanity, man. Like these dudes are ready to die, bro, for real. You just gotta love it. And then he's fucking like eaten alive. That's a fun way to die. And then this whole story plot line is like, I don't know, like this is apparently like his sister, and she's like, I'm gonna fucking kill Wazir Khan. So like this like battle happens, and she's like, yo, I'm not gonna fucking like be a bitch, like you can actually fight. And they fight. But like at the last minute, I guess like the guards show up. This is in Punjabi too, like the actor in this is amazing. And then like she has a little like fucking monologue and all this, and then who gives a fuck what happens there. And so then some of the more like I'm gonna go through like the biggest beats of the story here. So this guy was the guy sitting with Wazir Khan, the Hindu dude, who was like, yeah, you should kill the Chote Sahibzade. They're gonna cause a problem for you. That was this guy. He was a Hindu. And this guy is Diwan Todarmal. He's the dude who pays for the Atam Sanskar, or he pays for the funeral for the Chote Sahib. And by paying, he has to stack gold coins on the amount of land for their burning, which is like actually ends up becoming. I believe there's 2 versions of that story. One is that he has to lay the gold coins flat, and one is that he has to like stack them beside each other, which is like either way like fucking insanity. And Diwan Todarma was a Jain, by the way. He wasn't a Hindu. Okay, whatever. She sings some song. And these guys are chilling. I don't know if at this point they've killed him yet. And this guy gives like a monologue of like, you're fucked up. This is that other guy. Fuck, man. I know what he does. He's basically like, yo, you're really fucked up for this. And then the Sikhs don't. Who spoke out against Wazir Khan from killing the Sahibzade? Maler Kotla. It doesn't say that, but that's who it was. Yeah, see? Sher Muhammad Khan of Maler Kotla. That's who this character is. Right here.
ਅੱਲਾਹ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਰ ਜ਼ੁਲਮ ਹੱਦੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਜ਼ੁਲਮ ਤੇ ਸ਼ੇਰ ਖਾਨ ਇਸ ਜ਼ੁਲਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਾਥ ਕਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇਗਾ
The funny thing about it is like they painted this backdrop to look like it's like a part of the hallway, but they got the illusion really bad, so it looks very unrealistic. And then he just walks off to the left to get off like off screen. He doesn't walk down the hallway. He walks. That's Wazir Khan's baddie wife. Okay. So the story here is, this is one of the guys who is tasked with building the brick wall to kill the Chote Sahibzade, and his wife is bitching him out for being like a fucking... She's making like solid points.
नौकरी की ते नखरा की
इस गुनाह दी कमाई खवाएगा अपने बच्चे नु जा ले जा इस नु भी नाल साहब ज़ादिया नाल इन भी दीवार में चुन दें
ओ ती टाटर की ते काटा लाके रख दूंगा
हाँ हाँ ला दे मेरा काटा.
See, this is like the one of those times where a woman bitching at you is a good thing.
अल्लाह ते काल की जवाब देवेगा
अल्लाह ते कयामत दे दिन पूछूगा पर नवाब ने तो मैंने खड़ी पैर को चले रहा रवाना
भी कर ले.
Oh, she's so sad.
Ya Mola.
And then Jagjit Singh again. Right down your spine, man.
इम्तिहान वक्त होर लगा एक जोड़ा मासूमा दा रह गया सी.
Hold up. I need to comment on this song. He's dropped some crazy bars here. I remember somebody made some like super gay point about like, oh, the gurus and the kids all look like light skinned, and then like their captors and the executioners all are dark skinned. I hate that. I just want to point that out because they used this picture in that time.
अज दींदा ओ भी नहीं रहन लगा छोटा आसरा ओ भी हुण टहन लगा.
Right here, I think this is the line.
इट्टां वड्डियां ने
Basically saying the bricks are so big, but the souls, the stature, these children are so small. Jagjit Singh, right here, right in the dill, brother, right here in the dill. And so then this is like, they don't ever show the Guru's kids and all that stuff. This is a classic, like, you know, Punjabi movies, Dharmic movies and stuff. Where like everyone's sad, everyone's crying, and what's so funny is like they obviously couldn't get like really good footage of a hawk. Like I guess they just did not have access to like stock footage. So they got this, like they recorded it off a fucking TV. And then they're gonna make the hawk look like it's crying. Look. And this is like, some people have heard this track, it's like this is the instrument where it's from. The hawk starts to cry, right here. Like obviously it's sad and stuff, but like, yo, what dipper director was like, let's make the fucking bird cry? Like in hindsight, this is fucking insanity, man. Whatever, song. And then now like everything is like starting to like fucking come apart. And then this is Diwan Todarmal, and so this is the gold coin situation I was talking about. So he's covering all of it, and then the guy's like, motherfucker, you're missing coins here, dog.
तू अपना वादा पूरा नहीं कीता टोडरमल अजय भी 5 अशरफियां दी जगह खाली है.
He's like, you know, they get into the thing, and then this guy basically, like, I don't know if this guy, like, I don't know if this actually happened, like this exchange, but it's known that he did have the money for it. And then he does the Atam Satkar, Sanskar, whatever, for the Chote Sahibzade. And then for doing it, they fucking, and this is supposed to be Gangu, the guy who betrayed the Sahibzade. Like they're throwing tomatoes at him, and like he's gone crazy, and he's like, please, I'm so sorry, I fucked up. And then they bring Todarmal in, and was like, yo, you fucking, what you did was wrong, all this shit. And then this guy comes in with the news of, hey, Wazir Khan, you're fucked. You're fucked, buddy. Banda Singh Bahadur's coming. He's basically like telling that story, but now.
ਬੰਦਾ ਹੁਣ ਹੁਜ਼ੂਰ ਦੇ ਇਨਾਮ ਇਕਰਾਮ ਦਾ ਮੁਹਤਾਜ ਨਹੀਂ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਨਹਿ ਜਰਾ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਕਸਰ ਨਾ ਛੱਡੀ ਜਾਏ ਜੋ ਉਪਜਿਓ ਇੱਕ ਸਰੀਫਲ ਤੇ ਵੰਡ ਕੇ ਛਕਦਾ
Whatever. Why is it so long? All right, here, this guy says it. If that guy gave like a little monologue about like the guru and stuff, this guy's about to say you're about to get fucked.
ਪੰਜ ਖਾਲਸਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਾਲ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਸਰਹੰਦ ਤੇ
Right here, hold up.
ਖਬਰ ਮਿਲੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਸਿਪਾਹ ਸਾਲਾਰ ਬੰਦਾ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਪੰਜ ਤੀਰ ਤੇ ਪੰਜ ਖਾਲਸਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਾਲ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਸਰਹੰਦ ਤੇ ਹਮਲਾ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ
ਪੰਜ ਖਾਲਸੇ
ਪੰਜ ਤੀਰ
ਪੰਜ ਤੀਰ
खुशावदी
ज़फ़र बेग दीवान सुच्चानंद
yes Suchanand
गनी खान हुणे जिसते कसीदे कह रहे हसी उसने किन्नी वड्डी फौज भेजी है साडे टिड्डी दल नाल से पंज तीर
खुशावदी
and
then I used to do this pose when I was a kid and I used to sing this. Like I used to love this movie that much. And then I forgot what this instrument is called. This footage is to me some of the best, and this goes back to now the other long ass rant of this from the video on the House of Joel website, where the footage in this is so nuts, man. Like they have this like running footage which just looks so fire. Like then the hungs are out full force, Khalsa is like about to fuck you up type shit. This footage, I don't know why it just looks dope, but like just seeing the things barefoot running on like the dirt and shit just looks so hype. And these shots with this, the Khalsa is like running over the camera, pan shot, like genius directing, man, honestly. And now this guy's having like an existential threat that he's about to be fucked, and then you slap her, boom. Because he's talking shit like, oh my god, everything's fucked. I thought you were like had this all handled, blah blah blah. And he's like, you're yapping, and and like this footage just so dope. I wonder what like dulls they would go and talk to be like, yo, like we need your guys as extras. And the song is pretty fire too, I'll be honest. You know what's wild? And Suraj Prakash mentions how Banda weds off Wazir Khan's young daughter to Chandals, and the sings are like, she isn't at fault and he shouldn't, blah, blah, blah. They didn't give a fuck. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that Banda Singh Bahadur ended up doing that was pretty wild. That line always trips me out when he says Khalisa Soma, because like Soma has a different like meaning in Indian lore, but what is that? Like what is the Khalsa Roop Hai Khas? Khalsa Mema, let's see, Soma would probably be spelled just S-O-M-A. Okay, here we go. Let's find this. Soba Khalisa Soma. Okay, never mind. I guess it's Soma, like two separate words. But this is like, this Khalsa Mema is actually so insane when you actually like think about it. Because the last Jawala told me that these last last two stanzas or whatever, Jab lag khalsa rehe niara tab lag tej kiyon main sara jab again bipiran ki reed main na karo inki prateet. So while the Khalsa stays true, I will offer my full support. When they follow the ways of others, I will withdraw my assistance from them. That is like he said somebody else added that later, but it's still pretty insane that like you know, the Khalsa, as long as they hold it down, I will hold them down. That's kind of the whole thing of this, because the way he's praising, like this is why if you ever make the argument about like why the Khalsa is so interesting, is like Jesus is like, I will absolve you of your sins. You know, there's just like a weird relationship, Muhammad, all these prophets, but like the Guru is coming to such a humility. Like this basically is timesing 1,000 what the actions of how Guru Gobind Singh Ji asked the Panj Pyare for the Amrit. Like this is just in that vein poetically of like, the Khalsa is my world treasure, the Khalsa is my closest family, they're my body and my soul, they're my body and breath, dharma and action, like they are everything. And it's just so insane of like how deep he goes. I love this picture, by the way. If you get Javala on a podcast, that would be absolutely. I'm actually buddies with Javala. I'll talk to him and stuff. He's in India right now, so I don't want to bug him. But when he's back, he will probably do like either he'll be in Surrey, I'll be like, yo, hop on the pod or something like that. But this picture right here is so nuts to me, like just the composition of it all. Here's the thing, again, like Kapoor Singh, I believe is his name. He made a lot of the art. Kapoor Singh Art 6. Like he did this painting. He did a lot of these original paintings, like that battle of Chilianwala, or like there's like that really one. This picture right here. This picture when they're coming out of the jungles. I love this picture so much. Like Kirpal Singh. Oh my God, that's his name. Thank the Lord. Like all these OG paintings you see in the Gurdwara are all done by Kirpal Singh, and you can actually buy his prints. His son lives in Surrey, and you can buy those prints. Like in my opinion, there should have been some sort of there should have been some level of like museum that's like Louvre level in Amritsar that was beautifully made, that had all of Kirpal Singh's original paintings. And this is the thing, like Sikhi is like the best kept secret of the world. And so we haven't gone fully. So right here, this is his son. That's the guy, but this is his son's website. So you can contact the son to get the paintings. So yeah, so these are a lot of his pictures he did. And that's the famous by Kanhaiya Singh picture. That's him. That's by Nandlal. The picture of some of the Misaldars, Sikhs going to war. This is when by Nandlal first comes to Guru Gobind Singh. The fort, that story with the cannon on the shoulder fort, storming Multan fort. The Char Sahibzade at Chamkaur Sahib. Like a lot of these pictures, and this one is my favorite one. I'm just gonna save it even again. And so even like this, the returning of like he just went ham and he figured out a way to do it, and like he's goated, bro. I wonder who has the originals, to be honest, but they're like, he's so talented, this guy. And so this is the Malaria Kotla this guy. This is like no one has done this yet, but one day they will, where somebody takes like Sikhi's Gurbani and everything, and they add again like bass lines and synths, and actually like does it the justice in the modern day. Because there's nothing against Gurbani that says you have to only use, like, first off, the Vajja is a what the fuck is the word? It's a hold on, it was clipping for a second. That kind of annoyed me. The Vajja is a what is it? Those fucking Portuguese instrument. And so we got away from string instruments. So like in my like argument would be, if we're getting away from the original instruments anyways, why not go down with like bass lines and like electronic production and stuff and samples and all that kind of stuff? Like it's still Gurbani at the end of the day, and musical. Like it's still music and Gurbani. Like why not, right? That's my argument. This picture Baba Deep Singh is so fire too. I have a version of it. It's so nice. I just love this footage. Look at this Nahang Singh with his farla. Just absolute crazy phenotypes right here, bruh. I love these shots so much. This story is amazing. What a change, eh? From the podcast. We just talk about such dumb fuck shit. And I'm talking about like Khalsa history. We always did. This never happened. All this death scene of Wazir Khan does not happen. Where like this Theed just comes flying out of nowhere and kills him. This is not how he dies at all. How he dies is pretty crazy. They like just fucking absolutely like destroy this dude. But yeah, it's a 2 hour 21 minute movie. Why not? I recommend watching it. Okay. There's a dude that I found. This guy is so goated. Okay? There's this Singh who has been making the takhts. Okay? This guy's been making all the like gurdwaras, all right? And this guy's videos are so fucking awesome. So here he has done Damdama Sahib. So please like give this guy a follow or whatever. Join his Discord. Like we need more people in these fucking Discords. Look at this guy. He's like he wants to give you the full view, so he's hiding in the woods and stuff. There's so much about this guy that's so lovable.
Tour of Dal Panth Minecraft, where we welcome you all.
Imagine like Nahang Singh's out in camp, and one of them is like, "No, bro, I'm remaking all the thugs right now in Minecraft. I can't do Seva. This is Seva for the Panth." Another funny thing is that he's Dal Panth, like this guy's Nahang, and so all these flags, they're all like the Dal Panth Nahang Nishan Sabs, which is just such a amazingly funny touch to this. It's like, yo, we can't get the thugs back from the SGPC yet, so like the best thing that we can do right now is like build them in Minecraft and show.
For a few months. And he did a lot of Gobind Singh used to garage.
So where's the view? He I think in one he just has like the full view.
So the first Gurdwara that we're going to visit here is Gurdwara Likhansar Sahib. This is the area where Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj and all the Singhs taught.
Look at this, bro. This is so sick. Look at this. He looked like he crouched to Matha take. And like he has the weapons. They're all enchanted too. Yo, you can't skimp out on the shastras for Guru Granth Sahib.
All the things here.
And look at this. He has a picture. Like, yo, man, that's so dope, bro. That is so dope. Puran photo. I think he's trying to write Puratan, but it is what it is.
We have sands here.
So the story of Liksar is if you write the Uda Ada in Punjabi in the sand, you'll like learn how to write Uda Ada. So that's what this is like. He just total like, you know, there's dirt there. He should have done it sand blocks though. But. Okay, so this is Damdama Sahib, and so if you compare it to the actual Damdama Sahib, it's a pretty good, like it is pretty well done. Like if you see, so this is Damdama Sahib. Let's see if a better picture. Okay, this is Damdama Sahib. And then this is his. He got the Baba Deep Singh Burj or whatever it's called, and then the thing. And look at all these Nishan Sabs.
This is the main that used to be.
And look at this. It is lifted inside. It is lifted like this. So you got it pretty accurate. Look how sick this is.
All the Sevadar, the Guru guys. Gurdwara Sahib will have darshan of is the Bunga of Baba Deep Singh Ji.
Baba Deep Singh Bunga. That's what it's called. Yeah, my bad.
You can see the address for the night. This is the Sachkhand Sthan.
This yo, this is awesome, bro. I fucking love this. Okay, and my favorite one he did is where is it? Is it this one? Okay, it's this one. So these guys are doing Vaisakhi Jod Mela, and oh my god, already with the music. Look at this. They got the horses, bro. Holy, this is so fucking awesome. Look at it, throwing flowers and doing fireworks inside for Vaisakhi. Yeah, he's taking. Oh, he's putting gold. Oh my god, he's putting gold in the Golak, bro. Oh my god, you got the shastras in front of the Guru Granth Sahib. And they even put the textures in, and they got like Guru Gobind Singh's picture in the background. Holy shit, that's awesome. This guy's doing Ardas right here. This is awesome. This is so good. This is so fucking awesome. And now they're going back to their horses. I think it says like Dal Panth on one of their inside the buildings. This is too good, man. You got the kirtan going and everything. You gotta love this, man. How could you hate this?
Everyone to SSU Studios. Today we're showing you guys the Harmonic Cycle, otherwise known as the Golden.
So let's see what else is this guy doing. They're keeping like pure Maryada. Oh my god, they're about to chatka sheep. They're gonna chatka the goat. They're gonna chatka the goat. No! Little Jeb is about to die. Who's gonna do it? Chal Fair. That's what they said. Alright, let's see who's gonna chatka the goat.
Akale!
my god. Like these are the weapons. They're fixing them so that they're straight. This is so. That's Baba Deep Singh. They're throwing fireworks. Oh, Matha take. Yo, you gotta always Matha take and give some gold coins, man. Never forget. They're doing darshan at all the different isthan. Oh my god, they're doing that like that. Yo, this is so good. That's that thing with the peg in the ground. They're taking it out, but this is how they're doing it. Holy, bro. Holy. This is him doing it. He got it. He got it. What is this? I guess like some sort of like game, like some fighting game. So like fighting each other, I guess, to like practice. Akali Forge, bro, you gotta love this, man. Let's see the Hazur sub one. Damn, that's pretty accurate. Wow. The fact that they did this is so beautiful. Like they have like the little. Oh my god. Yo, join this guy's Discord server. Like, show this guy love, man. This is amazing. Let's see if you did. Let's see the Harmandir Sahib one. I know his Harmandir Sahib one is even like it's funny because they didn't put the gold on. They wanted to keep it like as OG as possible. Okay, let's see this. Where's the one where they're talking while showing all this? Such kind Mayan. I swear there's like one where they're like talking. Where look at Holla Mahalla series often announced, but you guys gotta love this, man. Yeah, Cam Logart. Let's see, this one. No, it's like they're just talking in it. For Jordan Milla of the year. I wonder if they do this regularly, like they do Jordan Milla. What the hell is it? Oh, here we go. I'm gonna start. Okay, let's see.
Singhs follow Puratan Maryada.
So like they didn't put the gold on Harmandir Sahib. They kept it OG, and then the double Nishan subs are the
first we'll go
are the Dal Panth ones. They got the Prakarma. So this is the Akal Takht.
Here we are, first darshan of Sri Akal Takht Sahib. Here we have Ad Guru Granth Sahib. Here Dasam Guru Granth Sahib.
So for those who don't know, originally the Prakash of Dasam Granth and Guru Granth Sahib were beside each other in the Akal Takht. And because these guys are like Dal Panth, they brought it back. So it's just like, hey, remember, there's Dasam Granth on the other side too. And that's like where all the weapons are. See, they put it.
We have armors.
They have all the cage of all the weapons. Oh man, it's amazing. Look, even the bungas, like the bungas look pretty good too. Those are probably the most cleanest element that they have.
This is the Golak Sahib.
The Golak, bro, like. Yeah, this is pretty awesome stuff.
There is Baba Atal Rai Sahib.
That's Baba Atal Rai's Gurdwara. Akal Takht. Where's Harmandir Sahib? Look, he's in Harmandir Sahib.
We have here Asper Akal Purik for Sarup. Here we are at Darbar Sahib.
In Darbar Sahib.
You can say we have
right here the main. Oh look, do you see how he crouches to Matha take? Oh, that's so good.
If here Prakash, yeah, we have.
Let's see this guy's. And then this is another one I found. This guy.
To wash your feet and as well as cover your head before entering.
Look at that. Wash your feet. You got some paredars there. Yeah, he made it more. I think this guy's. I don't know, man. They're both unique in their own way. He went for a little bit more accurate to like how it looks. You got the fish in there. You got the
serves
panels.
Free food.
The old man was fully healed after taking a bath in the Sarovar.
Oh wow, these are like some kids, man, that are like.
These were built as well as a Sikh.
If you're a real Khalsa, you would have done this in survival mode.
Regional library. So we created it with that in mind. Named after a man. The word Miri
The meaty peedy
Now we have
Nishan
entered the Akal Takht. The
This is the
Akal
Akal
Takht
Takht, the
means throne
basement.
of the timeless one. It was created by Siri Har.
See, this is more cool shit that we need to do, man. Less of these fucking like dating pods and like speed dating type of brown version stuff. Like this is cool
to be
content
the
for our
center of
community,
government
man.
for the Sikhs.
The center
Now
of government for the Sikhs.
We're here
LOL.
at the second floor.
The Nahangs had it way better for sure.
This is our representation of the third floor, as there aren't any pictures available online to look and reference off of. The Lachi Berry tree is the last bear tree inside the Harmandir Sahib complex. The Lachi Berry tree is over 400 years old and was where Guru Arjan Sahib Ji used to sit underneath
I like
the
the
tree
whole
to
gold thing that they got
oversee
going
the
on.
excavation of the Sarovar and the building
That's pretty
of the
dope.
Harmandir Sahib.
Damn, there's so much. Like, I still have so much more to like talk about, but we're already 2 hours in. Pretty happy with where we are. 10:35. I actually might jump on. I'm just gonna eat. I'm starving, and I don't want to like have to eat super fast and feel rushed. So I'm gonna jump off for now, and then I'm probably gonna come back on at 11 and like do some more. This is just so funny, yo. Oh, hold up. I should say, what is that guy's YouTube? Dal Panth Minecraft. I think if you go to his website, that you can join their like Discord server and stuff. So and I think Friday 10th of June they're doing like, yo, just join, man. I think that's dope. All right. With that for now, I'll be back in 30 minutes actually. So I'm just gonna pick up where I left off. Righty.